My name is Atul Chandra and I'm here at HAL's LCA division in Bengaluru. We have with us the 22nd CMD of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Mr. Ravi K. HAL has a long history, HT2, HF24, so many aeroplanes. Now we're on the cusp of Mk1A, you had the Mk1 inducted. Can we understand from you the capabilities HAL is invested in for productionizing Mk1A?
As you are already aware that HAL has already delivered the IOC and FOC versions of this LCA Tejas Mk1, which I was very passionately involved in doing so. A lot of challenges, because any indigenous product will have challenges, and nothing different from Tejas, but challenges are good. We were able to overcome many of them, and with that we have delivered the aircraft. So it was very important to increase the production capacity. So we started one more division to start producing LCA, that is aircraft division, which is co-located from the LCA Tejas division. And along the way we felt this is also not sufficient. So we started one more division, Nasik division, which is again been established. So there also we are making. So almost now we have established a capacity of 24 per year. Along, and one more line is already established with the private vendors, right, where they make the whole lot of structures, full structures will be made. So we have one more line there. So we are going to increase by 27, 28, maybe around 30 aircraft per year. The important thing is the manpower also is very important, because we have a very young manpower in LCA, what we have seen, and very talented. Our employees really work very hard to do what it's supposed to do, because we have invested a lot on them, on their training and rotating between divisions so that they get better knowledge how to do it. Challenges were there with the supply of the engines. For this, it is powered by an IN 404 supplied by GE USA. We had tremendous challenges in getting the engines from the supplier, and the supplier had his tier 1, tier 2 suppliers also. They had difficulties in some of the components. Now they have come out telling that all their issues are resolved. It's only the process of manufacturing which is taking time. So they have indicated around 2022 numbers this year, which we are confident that we are going to receive, and we already have more than 20 airframes ready. So once the engine comes, we just fit it, do the trial runs, and hand over the aircraft to them.
So the Tejas Mk1A started sometime in 2013, when the idea germinated that we could actually develop the Mk1 into a more potent and more capable machine. We could possibly give it a cutting edge active electronic array radar and some cutting edge missiles and things like that. And by the time the decision got made, it was that some of the equipment needed change, replacement, because they had become obsolete from 2005 onwards, when the development had actually started. So that was the basis how Mk1A started. So what the Mk1A represents is a significant, I would say, an order of magnitude better capability than the Mk1. Not necessarily in kinetic performance, but in systems, sensors, weapons, and awareness, situational awareness and network integration. That is the core capability that Mk1A brings. So it's really good that we are, while the Mk2 comes up, we are taking up the available production capacity to bring the Mk1A into the service in large numbers. I am out of Air Force, I am a veteran, proud to be so. I would love to see that this aeroplane, with the capability that we have seen, we have developed, is equipping the frontline squadrons, and it is doing its duty that is required to be done for the service.
Mk1A program was conceived by HAL. Actually, it was a program which was given to Indian Air Force to bridge the gap between any of the future programs and the capabilities of LCA. And it is a program wherein a lot of indigenization framework has gone. The mission computer is indigenous, the DFCC is indigenous, and we have got the SMFD, which is hitherto which was being made only by few companies in the world, which has been made completely indigenous. And we have another almost all spectra of the avionics is indigenously made. We have an RWR which is indigenously made. The two things what is not coming into this aircraft, one is the engine, the second one is the radar. With the next phase of Mk1A, that is 97, we will have the radar too onto this aircraft.
For LCA Mk1A, HAL was in the lead. So we were given a task of integrating the ISA radar, the EW suite, the ASRA as well as the ASTRA on LCA Mk1A. Basically the aircraft NMG, the wings were all the same as an IOC FOC configuration. To incorporate these new systems on the aircraft, the design team took it as a challenge. We have integrated the ASRA both in the single as well as the twin configuration. The twin configuration is the first time ASRA to have been fitted in the twin configuration. We have fitted the ASTRA as well, which is an indigenous BVR. Now you can understand the complexity in integrating new heavier weapons in an existing wing. So this requires strengthening of the wing, and there are conduits inside the wing will carry the cables. These conduits all had to be changed in order to accommodate additional cabling for the ASRAM, twin ASRAM, the BVRs and the jammer pod which would be seeing at the other side. The strengthening of the wing, all this has been carried out and extensive studies were carried out, and we have been able to successfully fire the ASRAM in both the single, twin as well as the ASTRA has completed this successful firing in this.
But Mk2 for me is altogether a different aircraft in several ways. For example, the maximum takeoff weight. This is a 13.5 ton, that is 17.5 ton. So how much is the difference? More than 25%. And but see the design aspect. Out of those 4 tons, almost 3 ton is going as a payload, additional payload capacity. So just by adding 1 ton to the aircraft, you are able to add almost 3 ton to the payload, which can either be in terms of fuel, can take you longer in terms of ranges, or you can have extra payload in terms of either the ammunition or the gun or the missiles or whatever. So in that respect, then we have a lot of other new sensors and the new avionics, for example, data fusion or the data links which will be there for handling those weapons and those avionics. And the new mission computers which will have altogether different kind of capacities. So with all that, and structurally also we have the additional canards into the structural design, which also adds to the maneuverability and how the aircraft can be used in the actual scenarios. So in that respect, for me, LCA Mk2, though name contains LCA, but it is altogether different aircraft with altogether different capabilities. That is why it is envisaged to replace not the aircraft which LCA Mk1 or Mk1A is going to replace, but the other variety of aircraft, as you rightly said, Mk2A9K or Mirage 2000s. Because of capabilities, the engine also will be changed from 404 to 414. So that adds further capabilities into the aircraft.